morning to you guys. Welcome to the Weekly Gospel. My name is Amazing Katonda. I'm so excited. Every Saturdays, you know, it's time to be excited, it's time to be happy and put off all the stress that has been going on during the week. It has been a long weekend. It has been a long week. So now we are in the weekend. You know how we do it right here. We give you nothing but the best of interviews, and of course, you people get to request for the artists that you want to see on the show. And today, guys, you requested for MAG44, and we decided to bring him. So he's the artist that we are going to profile today. But anyway, before I go on the song, let me just read you his bio. I'm sure some of you would want to know what he does apart from music and all that. We're going to find out about all that later on, but let me just read you his bio. I think I need to take a breather because I'm just, you know, excited and all, but let me just calm down for you guys. Anyway, MAG44 bio. Magnus Mando, popularly known as MAG44, is a studio producer, live music director, and gospel rapper. He is part owner of Music Loop Academy and Radio Cafe, one of Zambia's best recording studios. As a music director, he has worked with several corporate companies that includes APSA, Zambian Breweries, and Vodafone Zambia. He also, I beg your pardon. Let me just breathe. Yes. His role as a music director was uniquely designed to make stage performances an enjoyable, memorable experience. Each performance is directed at engaging with the audience. MAG44 has worked on several productions for advertising agencies such as Rage Dot, Media 360, Attitude, Ground Zero, and R&Y. Additionally, he has produced music for award-winning artists like Esther Chungu, Tio, Pompey, Abo Chungu, Musukwa, Slab D, Maki2, Israel, and Kanji. The list is endless. Okay. Let me just breathe. And apart from music production, he also has worked with music scores for TV series Zuba, Fever, Turn of Fortune, Club, Risky Business, Love Games, and Banja. And more recently, Women's Museum Broadcast. MAG44 has been nominated and won awards like Born and Bred, Zambian Music Awards, Kwacha Awards, and the Groove Awards in Kenya. So you can see that he's someone that has done a lot. He's made a name for himself. He's really branded himself on the local market and on the international market. And not only that, he is up to date, released 3 albums, which one of them he has collaborated with Pompey. With the song of the album is titled Bwana. I'm sure you know that album. But anyway, let's just get to one of his songs, and this one is titled Mwentula. It's actually Mwentula. Yes. Guys, I'm not being bad. So let's just get to the song, and then afterwards I'll be having a chat with him later on. So if you guys have got any questions for him, contributions, anything you'd like to know, make sure that you call us using the numbers that are on the screen. Or better yet, you can follow us on our Facebook page, Camnet TV, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's as simple as that. So right now, let's just get to his song, and then he'll be joining me after this song. So enjoy the song. Mwentula.
bonse mwabakwati mesi bululu eicho mwila balekelesha bamirishe benchi bululu. If you have a hater sometimes na vipanga sensi bululu ni semu fye kuluku wile komulwani akwikale panzansa didi ya ule ya pamulu bululu wibaleka bakusa kengo ulide vyumbu bululu wifisa makwate shushushu nomba balange udi gudu tata wandini mfumulelo. God's goodness in where I am an example. I'm so blessed in Jebede Gadi Sancho. Why should I pay rent when my father is the landlord? Whatever's your father's automatically becomes yours. Tell your neighbor that you are blessed and highly favored. Ninsa Baida Ninsansa, excuse my behavior. Your misfortunes are the roadmap to your fortune. Sangalala like you supposed to. Mwandile
Hello, good morning. You're still watching the Weekly Gospel with me, amazing Katamanda. You guys requested for MAG44 and we decided to bring him in the studios. So later on I'll be opening the phone line so that you guys can call in and ask him all the questions that you've always wanted to know. And I forgot to mention one thing. He authored the book. So I can imagine he's a music producer, he's an artist, he's a rapper, he does all these things. So I want to find out from you. First things first, you're welcome. Sure. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I don't know why you don't use your amazing name.
No, it's just the people in this office. Like they say amazing sounds fake.
Yeah.
But it's my name.
What can you do?
What can I do? So now they are used to calling me Katamanda.
I see.
But a lot of people have troubles. But anyway, awesome. It's not about me today. We're profiling you, so it's all about you. You're on the hot seat, so you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Awesome.
Something that has always made me wonder about your name.
Yeah.
44, MAG44. How did the 44 come about?
I mean, I've said this many times. I hope people won't be too bored, but I'll say for your sake.
Not only for my sake, because when we posted on our social media platforms that you're coming here, they were like, we want to know what the 44
is about. Okay, yes. Interesting. Well, I mean, the MAG44 comes from, a long time ago, a lot of rappers used to rap about owning a Magnum 44. So a Magnum 44 is basically, it's a pistol. Yeah,
it's a pistol.
It's a gun. Yeah. So rappers back then, I used to listen to a lot of B.I.G., DMX, all these different guys that would also, step in the door waving the 44. They would always talk about a Magnum 44. So when I got saved, people were just, obviously the name stuck. Magnum 44, Mag 44. So, I decided to keep it because I thought, okay, if the armor of God was written today, if the Bible was written today, the armor of God, it would be, instead of the breastplate of righteousness, it would be the bulletproof vest of righteousness. And the sword of the Spirit would be a Mag 44. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, like, you have your hands full.
Right.
You don't only work with different artists, but you've also worked with young talent.
Right.
You've managed to bring them on the local market where everybody now knows them. You have worked so hard.
Right.
But before that, we know that you are a TV presenter.
Yes.
So I want to know, how did that journey come about? How did you get in TV?
Yeah.
And why did you decide to like step out and then now go full time in music?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've been rapping my entire life. My older brother inspired me to do rap music. So what happened was, after, you know, in high school, you know, my desire, I remember my close friend's father asked me and my close friend, who we are business partners with today. So he asked him, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And Ian said, no, I want to be rich. And then he asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be famous. So you know, so for me, the desire to be famous was like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted.
Like you were really passionate.
Yes. I just wanted people to know who I am. You know. So so basically, when I got the opportunity to do the TV thing, I remember I did an ad for a man called Angel Piri. So when we did that ad, unfortunately, that ad didn't go through. So but he kept me in his mind. So when he started the TV show, one of the first people he called was me. So he says, look, I want you to do this TV show. I think you can be good at presenting because, you know, you like talking and stuff. So that's how I, you know, started doing the TV show. I wasn't great at it, I won't lie. I mean, I guess people thought because my dad was my dad was a popular broadcaster a long time ago. I think you weren't born. But anyways,
really?
So it was a long time ago.
Okay.
So I guess the expectation from a lot of older people is that, oh, I'll also become like my dad or like my older sister, because she's also in media. So so you know that was the expectation, but I wasn't really quite presenting the way as well as they did. You know,
you didn't feel it.
I did what I could, but I wasn't great at it. You know. So you know, during that same time is around the time you know, of course, I got a bit of popularity at the time. You know, people know me as a TV presenter and all that stuff. Then, you know, but I always just felt like something was missing, you know. And, you know, that's how I gave my life to Christ. I mean, I've grown up in a Christian home, but, you know, it's like you can know of God but not actually know Him. You know? Kind of like the way we know Michael Jackson. But it doesn't mean.
Which brings me to my next question.
Right.
I'm going to take you backwards. Yes. At the age of 17, this is something traumatic that happened in your life. You like lost your mom.
Yes.
And then your life just took a whole different turn.
Yeah.
Like you drifted away from your Christian values and all.
Right. Yeah.
So now can you just bring us in how you got back to that place?
Yeah.
Where you were supposed to be, how you healed.
Yeah, well, I mean, so obviously the traumatic thing, like I said, my mom passed on. So from that moment on, I kind of, you know, that was the time when I wanted to be famous. That's the time I started drinking and all that stuff. You know, I was basically just far left of what God wanted me to be. So during that period, you know, like I felt like, you know, I tried everything. You know, like I was a bit popular, a bit of money here and there, you know, known, and then of course, you know, when I want to drink, clubs will let me in. It won't be pressure. He's that guy from the TV show.
Like he's
you know.
known.
So, but then I don't know. I just felt like, you know, none of this is really, you know, it just didn't make sense. It didn't add up. I didn't feel completion. And then, so from that moment on, my older sister told me about a camp meeting that was going on at Praise Christian Center, and that's where I gave my life to Christ. Yeah, so.
Okay, so now away from like your story, we want to know what's your creative process like. How do you create your music? How do you come up with music? Because we know that you have not only produced for yourself, but for other artists. I keep emphasizing on this one because a lot of people don't know that you have worked with Slap D, MAG44, and these are huge names and they've won awards.
Right.
So I want to know how is your creative process like?
I mean, the creative process differs compared to the artist. I know guys like MAG44 maybe say, okay, I've got an idea, and then they'll give me a reference idea, then I make the beats, then they usually like it the first time, so then they do their vocals. But because you see, the thing is, with every song there is the visionary, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess for me the creative process starts by me asking who's the vision carrier of this song, you know. And then the vision carrier, what happens is you now say, okay, we follow the direction of the vision carrier. You know, the one who's the owner of the vision will now determine what they want in the song. You know, how they want the song to feel like. And my job as a producer is to make sure that their vision comes to pass with their song. So, but sometimes there are artists, like for an example, when we first started working with Esther, it's a vision that we both had to carry because she was just starting out. So even with regards to her style and things, you know, we'd sit with Esther and say, okay, how do you want to be? You know, and we would look at all these different artists and say, okay, these are reference artists. And basically, you know, we birth the vision together, you know, but then of course there are artists who I found or who are already there. So like, you know, like your Slav D's, they've already sort of pushed themselves out there.
Yeah.
So he's already sort of clear about his vision and what he wants to achieve. So yeah, so my creative process of course starts from the vision of the artist, the project, and then from there now you start working towards achieving that vision. Yeah.
And then working with Karen, the song you did with her.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a brief story, like how it all started? Because that was a song that really, I don't know if I can say the song that brought you to the limelight when it comes to Christianity and stuff.
Right. Yeah. I think that I mean with Karen, I had released a song. I had released Vichani before, and you know, people were, you know, like you could see, okay, there's buzz around, you know, all that. So now what I noticed is every person I would call had a Karen collar back tone. Yeah. So, you know, in my mind, I just thought, you know, let me do a song with someone who's popular, and then let's see how it works out. Yeah. But then, of course. So I called that. It was a long shot because, you know, I knew I just started, so you know, I wasn't sure how people were gonna take it, how Karen was gonna take it. You know, and you know, and I called that. You know, thankfully she was a very humble person. You know, I mean, at that time I didn't even have a car, so it was difficult. I had to organize picking her up and whatever. I had the chorus. But when she sang it, she just brought a new life to it, you know, and you know, and it actually, just working with her in the studio, it added a lot of meaning to the song. Because I remember I hadn't even put my verses. All I had was the beat, you know. In the beat, I thought, okay, I want to mix like a Zambian beat with like Hillsong. So, so I made the beat like that, and then when she heard it. She sang, I gave her the idea for the chorus, and then she just sang it in her own way, and it gave the whole song a new life and inspired me to write the rest of the lyrics. So it was an awesome experience. Yeah.
You, looking at you, you're a very big name in the game, like you're known not only in Zambia, but also on the international market. Yeah. But what surprises me is how you manage to work with young people. Yeah. How would you manage to incorporate them in your works and then bring them out? Like, we have seen the proof, we have seen Esther. Yeah. Look, so how do you just do things?
I think, you know, part of my vision and calling is to bring people together. I don't know, I take a lot of pleasure in finding people who do different things, and we say, okay, look, these different body parts, we are able to make one body, you know. So even with young artists, and so it always, I like to even collaborate, young artists, older artists, just sort of, it's just a passion I have, I guess. So I can't really tell you like a formula of what happens, but I find I link up with so many young artists. Of course, young artists call me and say, okay, look, let's, you know, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. There are many failed projects that I've done with artists, and there are many successful ones also. So it's just, put yourself out there, make things happen, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, it just means you've learned something, and you'll continue again. Yeah. So.
I think maybe we should work with something.
We should give you. I don't know if I'm in the mood of trying right now.
You're just in the mood of doing.
I'm just in the mood of doing.
Can we do this?
We can do this.
Okay. Sure. Talking about branding.
Yeah.
How have you managed to brand yourself without any scandals? Because I haven't heard any scandals about you.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. I guess I can just say it's the grace of God. I have had a few scandals with, the way when we sing in clubs and things like that. So I guess at the end of the day, you just want to do your best. You know what I mean, and hopefully everything works out. For me, I'll just tell you my scripture, which I go by, is Proverbs 3 verse 5. And it says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. And that's a very hard thing to do, because, sometimes you're thinking, okay, I don't see this God, I don't know exactly what his plan is, it's a thing of where you as human beings, we want to trust something that we can actually physically see and touch, and faith is really based on, it's the substance of things hoped for. It's evidence of things unseen, So it's a thing of where, for me, I've learned to just trust God, and hope for the best. Life comes with situations, circumstances. You can have a perfect plan of how you want to go somewhere. You want to live I don't think there's anyone who wakes up in the morning and says, I want to have a scandalous life. You know what I mean? I want to just be messed up.
I mean, there's some people who are, for lack of a better term, there are people who are sick like that, because that's how they get fame.
It's true, but I mean, the bottom line is it comes from somewhere. Sometimes for most people, it's a last resort. For a lot of people, these things have happened by accident, and what I would say is that when those situations happen, a lot of them, make the best out of it. They'll start reality shows or whatever. But then look, what I would say is that it's not, at the end of the day, it's me trusting God with all my heart, leaning not on my own understanding, but in all my ways acknowledging him, and he will direct my path. It's me doing that, and it's by God's grace that I am where I am. It's not I do something like on my social media where I tell the truth about myself. I have
seen that. I don't want you to say much about it.
Okay.
So let's just go to the song, because we have talked. So now we need to take some water.
Sure.
So I look into that camera and then introduce the next song.
Okay. Which camera? This one?
This one.
This one. Okay. So the next song I'm gonna share with you guys is a song I did with my brother Ephraim. It's called Mfumia. Enjoy.
Kungwa banza Kungwa banza Nanalolete komwa kumya Nepete pyote pyo mwajitila Mweya we Nanalolete komwa kumya Nepete pyote pyo mwajitila Mweya we Kungwa banza
no money, bow one, no honey, navy blue skin, not funny. Ununka vyechibe na the all running. Dobo, alcohol, kwenda muzet beat, warifia ntamo. Nalolesha mwibotola for a sign of hope. I was dying on lost parts. Hey.
Uko mwafumia, ganalolesha. If you watch it down,
at all. Forget about how many times you can fall. It's the times you get up that matter the most. So I'm a palo ya twali dile. If you are calling no mafisha dile. Go forward, you no time to delay. And a life in the go delay. What you say?
If you watch it
See you, hey. Oh. Give us. Ah, Sammy. Don't be selfish, give us you. Hey. Give us you, hey.
And cut.
And you are still watching the Weekly Gospel, where we give you nothing but the best of your favorite personalities. You guys get to request for them, and then we get to bring them because you want to know them beyond their music. So today I'm profiling MAG44. He has his hands full, guys. He does a lot of things. So now if you have any questions for him, good news to you guys because we've opened the phone line. So now you guys can call in, ask him all those itching questions that you've always wanted to ask him, and then he's not running away. He'll give you all those answers. So now, tell us about that song and what inspired the song.
Fumia, that's, I mean, Mr. Ephraim has been an amazing big brother to all of us. So he came over to the studio, and he recorded a chorus in my first album, in my Jijue album, but I don't know. I guess I couldn't do the verses properly. It was just so in the end that song never wasn't on the album. And then he came over. I remember at the time we were working with Church. Church was one of the artists. And I told he said, "Oh look, I would like to do a song with Ephraim." So I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I mean, he's a great guy. He's part of the family. So he came over, did the chorus for me, which was supposed to be for Church. But then Church, so like 6 months later, Church, when are you doing the verses? No, what, okay. 1 year later, oh, Church, what's happening now? Yeah. So I said, okay, bro, can I buy the song from you? So he says, okay, cool. So that's how, I haven't even paid for it actually.
Call him.
Call Church, yes.
Okay, so we have a caller. People are already giving you some love. So
but I've paid for him, I've given him recognition, so that's enough payment. Just checking. But anyway,
hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Morning, I'm Daniel watching from Mapati, the Southern Province.
Oh, wow. All the way from, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. In fact, I'm very happy to see my portfolio today live on the TV.
Okay.
Mr. Daniel, which language is predominant there? Is it Tonga?
It's Tonga.
Okay. That's a beautiful language. I love Tonga so much. I wish I could speak it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, none of us here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
One day when I grow up, I'll be Tonga.
Yeah, I'm very happy, man, for watching today live on some TV.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wishing you all the best in life.
Thank you. Do you have any question for me?
Yeah, I'm just the song from Yuma for the same. I like the song that was. Yeah, right now.
Great. Sure.
So you don't have any questions?
In fact, that's when I'm starting watching the.
Okay.
Oh,
sure.
okay.
No. You didn't. I appreciate the love, boss. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
So now, you have worked on a lot of albums.
Right. Yeah.
So which one can you say has been the hardest?
Yeah. I think my favorite album, which is my least loved by the audience, is probably the Brave Only album. I feel like in that album I sort of stretched myself. I did a lot of music that I thought was original, very Zambian. I was trying to sort of get the whole Zamrock, Kalindula sound and modernize it. So yeah, I did a lot of that. Even if you hear Mwentula, Mwentula is probably the most commercial song on that album. But it also has a bit of that Zamrock feel to it if you hear the guitars and stuff. And so I love the amount of creativity and also just what the album meant, because from that album is when the name of the album was Brave Only. And it was inspired from the label which we started, the Brave Only Music. So I like that one is my favorite. Is my favorite album, but I think the one I would say I worked the hardest on is probably the Bwana album. The Bwana album, the album I did with Pompey. Because there, when we were doing this album, we became like young artists. It was a thing of where we would do sleepovers at the studio, which is things that we don't do when we're older. Sleeping over at the studio, working tirelessly, to perfect these songs every day, just working at it. So it was that one was the most fun, and it was also just therapeutic. It was a nice experience. I really did enjoy.
Awesome. You're one of the people that I've had on this show that has been honest. Nothing like, no, you can't make me choose and what and everything. But anyway, let's get this caller. We have a caller. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you and what's your name?
I'm blessed. My name is Kelly.
Where are you calling us from?
Calling you from within the Dhaka.
Thanks, Kelly, for coming through this morning. So do you have any queries or contributions for MAG?
I have a question for Mr. MAG44.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, first of all, I enjoy your songs very much.
Thank you, Mdad.
Yes, my question is it right for a gospel artist like you to do a collab with a secular artist? And how do you justify that? In the scriptural backing?
Kelly, let me even take off my glasses so I can see your face.
I can see your face.
At what? No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think with regards to working with other artists, right? With secular artists, I think there are a lot of sort of gray area things that Christians should or should not do. It's not clear in the Bible. In the Bible, it doesn't say thou shalt not work with a secular artist. And of course, people will bring up the equally yoked with non-believers, but then it doesn't necessarily apply to this, because sometimes secular artists are believers. You know what I mean? So you have to, what I would say, your righteousness is determined by how do you feel about it? What is the conviction God has given you? You see, like for an example, guys like Paul in the Bible, they decided they were not going to get married. You know, it's not that it's a sin to get married, but it's the decision, it's the conviction he got from God. Now remember, all of us, God has made each one of us different. That's why we're all special. And there is a conviction that is given each and every one of us on how we should live our lives. And the important thing is to pursue that, to say, okay, Lord, I read your word, I pray to you, and let God convict you on on how you should live your life, on how you should work. So for me, even when there are secular artists, for an example, that I work with, but I still have a criteria. I'm not just going to work with anybody. I'll work with someone who I know, okay, we have a relationship, you know, I get to know them. I get to know about their relationship in Christ and things like that. Then we work together. So it's, you have to really, when I first started with the music, like I was saying to you earlier when we went on the break, I didn't want to, when I started out, I knew that, okay, my heart is still fragile. I'm still trying to figure out my place. You know, I'm still trying to figure out that if my desires are genuine. You know, so what I did was, right at the beginning, I never worked with any secular artists because I knew that, look, that's where I'm from. I want to make sure that the reason why I'm doing this music is not to be famous, is not to be to glorify myself, is not to just, you know, be someone who's destructive. So so during that time, for me, that was important for me for that season. But now that I'm out of it, one of my big callings obviously is to reach out, to preach the gospel. So a lot of these secular artists who I've linked up with, you know, we talk about God, we talk about the gospel, and for me that's an opportunity to preach. And sometimes it's an opportunity to be preached too. You know what I mean? Because sometimes these people who you think, oh, they're secular artists, they are shy, you'll be surprised how much of they know the word. They know the word. They are probably doing more. I mean, there are guys like MAG44 doesn't drink, doesn't smoke,
but the relationship that he has with God is way on another.
You know what I mean? So it's a thing of where you have to. You need, it's mainly about how is God, if you feel that's wrong based on the word of God, based on your conviction, your relationship with God. That's why it's good to have a personal relationship with God. So that you know, so that God is the one who convicts us, not other men.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a caller. Hello? Hello? It seems like we have lost the caller. Please keep calling, guys. Mag is still here. Okay, we have another caller. Hello?
Hi.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Hello, can you speak louder? We can't hear you.
Okay,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Great. What's your name?
I'm Ruth.
Ruth, okay, nice talking to you, Ruth. Do you have any question for me?
Thank you for the good.
I think the
Thank you. I'll assume
bad.
the network is good, is bad, but I assume you are saying good things about me, so thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, for coming through. Let's talk about something that you have started on social media.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of people open up or speak the truth about themselves because I don't know whether we're ashamed or I don't really know why people don't want to come out clean.
Yeah.
But you have started something that's called the hashtag Truth Tuesday.
Truth Tuesday, yeah.
Yes, where you tell the truth about yourself. And you're not ashamed.
Yeah.
I think the other video where the one I watched, you were talking about your addictions.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, oh my God, who does that? Like, so what inspired the whole Tuesday hashtag Truth Tuesday? Yeah, what inspired that? Maybe before you answer, let's get this caller.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead with your comments or contributions. But before you do that, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Name is Gary from where?
Okay. Please go ahead.
I wanted to ask MAG44. Yes, MAG44. Why are you not saying or international music?
Okay.
What are you?
Sure. I heard that. Your network was bad, but I heard you're asking why I don't collaborate with international musicians. Well, I do. I collaborate with them a lot. I mean, just recently I worked on The Truth. The Truth is an American artist. I don't know if you heard of him. Yeah, but he's a huge American artist. He's worked with Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribbett. Yeah, he's huge. Yeah. So I produced a beat on that project. There's another album he's doing. I think I've made several beats on that album also. Okay. So yeah, and also I've collaborated with guys like Sampa the Great, Sho Baraka, who's also a huge. He's used to be part of 116. Yeah. Collaborated with artists from Uganda, Ruyonga. Yeah, I mean. I've worked with a lot of
and
people.
you're still working with a lot.
Yes.
I think we'll get to that.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure,
but
no problem.
I think you still remember my question?
Yes, the Truth Tuesday. Yes. So with Truth Tuesday, I just wanted to be honest, because for me, I believe what makes a person is their integrity. Which is why God doesn't like lukewarm believers, because you're hot but you're cold. It's like, what are you? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, there are people who do the wrong thing and people who do the right thing, right? But the worst ones are the ones who are in the middle. You know what I mean? Those are the worst kind of people, because you can't trust them. At least the bad person, you would believe, you would trust the badness. You know what I mean? You would trust the goodness in the good people. So for me, I never want to be lukewarm. I never want to be. And the thing is, I'm a good person and I have bad things about myself. And for me, what I want to be is a person of integrity. That's my strive. And that's why I do the Truth Tuesday, to show people that, look, these are my issues. I'm not hiding anything. Even the Bible says, confess to one another. Yeah, sure. And I believe that a lot of spiritual leaders, and that's why people find it hard to become Christians, because they are thinking, these people are not real. These people act like they don't go through anything. Yeah, very true. So, and just because you're strong in, maybe you don't cuss or maybe you don't drink or smoke, you have like a thing.
Yeah, there's still like a thing that people don't know.
Yes. True. Say it, what I mean? Say it. And the testimonies I'm getting from doing those Truth Tuesdays are big secular artists, they are like, bro, that is my struggle. Yeah. That is my struggle. And, so now you start to realize that, confessing your sin is not necessarily like a shameful thing. It can be something that liberates someone. You know what I mean? A testimony doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I've bought a new car. Yeah, oh, I've got Chan. You know what I mean? It can be just how you overcame sin today. Even how you failed. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes your failure can help someone to say, oh, okay, I see how he failed. I now know what to do better. Yeah. So that's what Truth Tuesday is about.
That's very inspiring, very encouraging.
Yeah.
In your own opinion, do you think the artists are doing enough in the government to empower the artists, as well as to just make music a source of income and also empowerment to the young ones that are coming up?
Yeah, well, I think they are doing quite a bit. We've got that 30 million, which is supposed to help us out as artists, especially during this COVID time. I think that there is quite a bit being done. There could be more. Yeah. There could be more. For me, obviously, there's the mentality of where you look at things like, you say, okay, I think probably more money is pumped into things like soccer than Zambian artists. Which, someone can argue and say, okay, soccer players are doing things out there, and Zambian artists, too many of them are keeping it local. But I think, the only way we can be international is if we are given the platform to be international. So I think there is a lot more that can be done. There is our laws, our copyright laws, you know, they are there, but they are not solid enough.
Not being like
artists don't feel like they can trust in the systems that are being created. So a lot needs to be done, and there needs to be some sort of standardization of, you know, how things are done, proper systems, which, you know, we every day, you know, I mean, some sort of meeting where guys are working towards making these systems work. I, for one, started a music school called Music Loop Academy with 2 other friends, and, you know, for me, that's like, okay, we want to develop artists so that when we maintain a standard of how a good music producer should be, how a good sound engineer, how a good vocalist, and create this standard that, you know, enables the industry to be at a place where the quality is good. You know,
so we have a caller.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Hello.
Blessings to have Mike in the studio.
Hey.
Please tell us your name before you get all excited. Tell us your name so that we know who we're speaking with.
Today I feel all Rasta, so I call myself Rasta K.
Rasta K.
Yes. I'm from Lusaka.
Okay,
Nice,
please go
nice.
ahead with your comments or contributions.
Mark, you touched on a very salient point.
Sure.
The point of the issue of them. This is something I feel so strongly about. I know you were young back then, but in retrospect, how do you feel about film? Because I think we've got it all wrong. I feel that people should strive for excellence.
Yes.
And then film should come as a spin-off, you know, of that excellence.
Right.
But now we have people who are solely working towards film. And a couple of producer friends who told me things like, you know, the young guys who come to the studio and film that if you want to say blow a change, using dark things, like dark things. And
Right.
They're assuming that maybe the producer knows some that way of, you know,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Just what I was using that. Because there are people that who have done wrong things lately, and they're famous, and they might be vying for political positions. So the young people feel that maybe you can do that video, do something, and then become famous or do something significant, maybe, and, you know, you become famous. So I just wanted to, you know, pick your brains on that.
Awesome. No, that's amazing to talk about. And I mean, it's the trouble I have with a lot of younger artists. They come and, you know, you're trying to obviously adjust their mindset and say, okay, look, this is, you know, this whole thing of desiring to be famous is not why we do this. So, and, you know, they will agree with you, yes, but until it's time to show off that, you know, when they're out there, then you start to see the mentality of, I want to be famous and known. And it takes some time. I mean, even for me, like I said, when I gave my life to Christ, I took out 5 years. I wasn't writing any rhymes. I wasn't I wasn't trying to be on TV. That's immediately after I gave my life to Christ, I quit the TV show. And you know, that's the instruction I felt God gave me. And during that 5 years, was very important for me, because that's when I realized I can produce. And you know, producing is, for me, that's my main source of living now. You know, so the thing with things like being famous and stuff like that, what people need to realize is that a leader is a servant. You know what I mean? You are serving people. You know, it's not. Yeah, a lot of people think they want to be boss. When they say I'm a leader, they are thinking about being a boss.
Yeah, true.
Which is completely. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
A leader needs to be. You have to be there for people. You know, you have to be there. I have a genuine concern for the people who follow you and want the best out of them.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize when they acquire all this fame, I tell a lot of secular artists, like, look, bro, you've got power. This is power. But you also have a responsibility. And you need to say, okay, what am I going to do with this power? How am I going to be of help to people? How am I going to be someone who makes my community a better place, you know? That's what that power is for. It's not just for, you know, we are meant to, you know, uplift everybody else and not, you know, sometimes with the way the world is set up, you know, with all this self-love and stuff like that, it's good, we do need to love ourselves, but the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself. You need to have that balance of doing both, you know. And especially when you're in a position of power, when you're in a position of leadership, use that to reach out to people and use that to help people, to uplift people. And you'll find that you'll find, first of all, more satisfaction in your life. You'll be more happy because you know that, okay, when I'm doing this, there are people who are actually, whose lives I'm bettering because of this. So I think it's important how we look at that fame thing. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you ever feel like people misunderstand you, or there's something that people don't know about you that you would love them to know about you?
Misunderstanding, yeah, definitely. I think for me, you know, what I would want people to know is that there are a lot of things that are going through.
Please tell us. That is why we brought you here. Now we want people to know the truth.
Yeah.
So
well,
in on that.
I mean, well, you know, like for me, I think that people don't understand a lot of the work that goes into, you know, the things that we do. So it's always I understand that people look at things on the surface, so they end up not really understanding, you know, what goes on in the background to make these different things happen, from music, recording songs, producing, and all that stuff. So even my manager will tell you, she gets the weirdest phone calls, and you know, sometimes you sort of think like, but I've done so much work, done so much work, and you still don't understand what I'm trying to do, you know. So it does get, I think that does get a bit frustrating. But even with regards to interviews, this is nice, you know, that you are not asking the same questions as always, you know. And you know, when we talked about it, and my manager was showing me, these are the questions that you'll be asked. You know, of course we added our own, but then we kind of felt like, okay, this is good as it is. Like, this is, you know, we want people to progress. We don't want people to, you know, be in the same place of not understanding. Maybe you should
hold your thought. There's someone who wants to ask you. I don't know if they have a question or anything. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed, sir. Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Penam Tanganagere. I'm calling from John.
You are calling us from?
John Lengi.
John Lengi. I like that.
Okay. Please, do you have any questions for Mag?
Yeah, I just wanted that, you know, I'm a believer, as my brother Ray is a believer as well, he's a singer.
Amen.
I really appreciate the work that you are doing to the nation of Zambia and to the people out there that listens to the gospel, because it's all about Jesus, it's not about us. Yeah, I just want to talk about the film issue, whereby people want to be on top. My brother talked about being a servant. We need to understand who is a servant. You need to serve. You're not supposed to be a boss. So if I want to be on top, first thing I need to look at, you know, who am I in class? Because class is a foundation, and I need to build on that foundation. So we are not building on that foundation, and you know, I'm a blessing to you, you are a blessing to me. So I don't have to see myself, you know, progressing. I need first to think about others, because that's what Jesus did. He never thought of himself, but he thought of us. So
Yeah.
You know, Zambian musicians, in terms of, I won't speak to secular, but I'll speak to gospel because we talk about Christ.
Right.
You know, they want to drive nice cars. They want, you know, to have, bigger mansions. But the only thing that I can advise my brother and my sisters out there is faith. Jesus Christ is saying, faith seek the kingdom of God and my righteousness, and the rest shall be added upon your life. So when we are entering into gospel industry, faith, who are you? Are you a born again? Have you received Christ? Do you have the Holy Spirit that is going to guide you to speak what the Spirit wants people to hear? Because when someone is speaking, it's giving out, you know, the song which has the message of Christ. It needs to have full of the Spirit that when somebody listens, it's going to be converted. So please, to the people out there, MAG44, I was young when I started listening to him. I'm the 6-year-old, and I'm very much happy what you are doing. Please, let's speak the truth to the people out there.
Amen.
It's the truth that is missing to the platform, wherever you know. That's what I am thinking. That's what I'm hearing, and I'm very much happy to hear you guys. I just tuned in to your station, and I found this page, and fortunately I have stopped them, and this is my contribution. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thank you so much for coming through as well.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was a great contribution.
I know it makes you feel good.
Yes,
that
it
you
makes me
have-
feel so good. I think I'm going to wear my shades.
Oh my God, I don't know what to Okay,
Yeah.
so now tell us what keeps motivating you, and what can you say has been the proudest moment you've had, like your proudest achievement?
I think my proudest achievement, I mean, there are many, like I've said, like, you know, like there are so many. So God has been so good.
Yeah.
So I think it all just, you know, all boils down to just God's goodness. I think for me, my proudest, the thing that has made me feel the most satisfied is giving my life to Christ. I think that has been the most significant turning point of my life. It's bigger than any award I've ever won, any opportunity I've ever had to leave the country and sing to thousands of people. I think that has given me the most satisfaction, the most completion, even when things are rough and you're broke. The
Now,
fact
which
that I
brings
know,
us to the question: what keeps motivating you to keep working hard?
again, it's God. Because I'll tell you, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's different things. My family, there's people I love, and, you know, I want to see the best for them. But I think at the end of the day, the one who gives me those desires, the one who gives me that drive. Because I can tell you now, I mean, there are times when I've felt like things don't make sense, you know what I mean? But God is always the one who pulls me back, is the one who always lifts me back up. And I think for me, if I'm not doing it for God, to be honest, there's nothing I'm doing it for.
Nothing you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now how do you separate your social media life from your personal life?
Which is what I'm trying to not do. I'm trying to keep it all as the same thing. Yeah, but it's tough because, you know, you wanna have some sort of privacy. But then, you know, again, I realized, like, okay, the people who follow me on social media, they are like my family. You know what I mean? A lot of people on my social media gave their lives to Christ because one day they heard a song of mine, or one day I spoke at an event and did an altar call. So there are all these different, you know, things that go on social media. And, you know, sometimes me pulling back can appear like I'm being fake, you know. So I try my best to be an example. Maybe what I try not to do is, you know, not put people on social media who are around me who don't want to be put there. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people who I work with who I'm not gonna put them there just because, you know, they are around me, you know. But I try to be as open as possible, because I realize that, look, my life
It's not just for
it's
you.
not just for me. Yeah, it's an example to other people.
Yeah, true.
And and I want to be a good example. I want to show people what being a bad example looks like also.
Now, talking about that,
Sure.
we all know everybody has got an inspiration. They have people that they look up to.
Right.
So we want you to just tell us who you look up to and what are some of the qualities that that person or those people possess that just make you look up to them.
There's a lot of people I look up to. I have many uncles. Like I told you, I've got a business partner and his parents. They're amazing people. They are just like, I don't even know how to, they're amazing people. And I love them so much. I get so much advice from them. Right now, someone who's always just been an inspiration and always just been an encouragement, Pastor Mono from Praise Christian Center. He's an amazing person. I remember when we were starting out, when I remember giving my life to God, I think a week. The next week, Pastor Mona was like, hey, come and rap on stage in church. I'm like, sir, we just started this Jesus thing.
Like,
you know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
So, but then he's always been encouraging, always been a motivation. I love how he handles his family business, the way he's raised his daughters, who are amongst my best friends even, and how he runs his family, how he takes care of his wife, everything, how he runs the church.
Okay.
So he's one of those men who's academically inclined, but also biblically he's gone through Bible schools. He's taught at Bible schools. He's just like an amazing person. I really look up to him. Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, time is not on our side. Sure. It's so jealous. But then there are a lot of people that would want to get in touch with you. They would also want to get your music. In as much as we have people that like downloading things for free, but we have genuine people that want to buy. So maybe you can just tell us where we can get your music, how we can get in touch with you.
Sure.
And of course, there's a book that you authored. If we would want to buy that book, where can we find the book?
Right now they are completely sold out. So I need to, obviously with the corona thing, it kind of made things difficult to export and to import. Yeah. So we are working on that. But if you want to get in touch, my social media has all the contacts you need. If you want to have music produced, there should be a number on my social media. If you want me to come for an event or whatever, all those contacts are on the social media, on my social media. So Instagram, it's at the name is MAG44. Same as Twitter, at the name is MAG44. Facebook, it's MAG44 Drums. Yeah, so you can go there and all the information you need on how to reach us, it's all there. So I think that's how I can say you can reach us. Yeah.
Okay. So your last remarks, a word of advice to the young people that want to get into music or just want to author books. Because
The Bible says we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. For me, writing a book was something that I shouldn't have even been thinking about because I hate reading. I've probably, my manager can tell you, I think I've read one or two books in my life.
But you have authored the book.
Yes, but you see what I mean. So
it's
a thing of where if you put yourself out there, you can get it done. There are a lot of jobs where people have said, "Oh, can you do this?" And I'm like, yeah. But in my mind, I'm like,
what am I doing?
You know what I mean? But then the good thing is there's resource, there's social, there's Google. You can YouTube how to do things. You can talk to people. You can make things happen. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take on challenges. The worst that will happen is that you fail.
Exactly.
But
when you fail, you learn.
You learn. Exactly.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
so thank you so very much for coming. You came with your manager. Thanks to her as well.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you guys for joining us this morning. You know how we do it right here. So if there's anyone that you'd like to see on the show, make sure that you call the numbers out on the screen, or you like us on our Facebook page, which is Kamni TV, and then get to request for any person that you would like to see on the show. That's how we do it. this show is here for you guys. Okay, so this has been amazing, Katamanda. This is all we have to sign out, but we're not leaving you alone. We're leaving in the hands of MAG44 with a song titled Neighbor. He featured Manasseh, yes. So enjoy the song. Be sure to meet again next week, same time, same place. Stay blessed. Keep it locked to Kamni TV.
So we're going to go out on ministry. I think you know why we're all here.
Outreach.
That's right. And before we go, we just need to fix the tire. Apparently, there's
just for a short.
So well, the tire connecting to the carburetor
box couldn't really
the exhaust
box
so
everything
we just
up,
need to change. So let's just step out quickly. Chanta, wake up, let's go.
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa.
Bole mala bakumbuyira bebayenda bakumbuyira bananjinga bakumbuyira bebayenza bafuna motoka ya blaza bakazikulu bakumbuyira balina kanchito banachito bakumbuyira batupoto bakumbuyira CEO boss naye yakumbuyira kugula ziko vinunkira vili umu batifuti vinunkira vina mumu benajerita lavune sina bumulo wayambosabaila iwe ni juju sungafya kasanga mulinso vimaletelela vachi masomaso iwe original OG no photocopy nkala wakutila manje iwe
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba.
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Siya matenda ya lunkungwa. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Siya matenda ya lunkungwa.
Yo, iwe mudala ukumbwila fresha elo futi ka fresha kakumbwila blessa elo futi blessa akumbwila investor aona monga boma ili beta yes sir but boma idela abantu bamugeto nabo bamugeto bafuna basheteko nabo babipanga bafuna babaoneko ukumbwila lukumbwa na chimeko chikomekome cha mukuyu osa chikongereza mulinyelele we osa kumbwila veolibe chifuka veoli navo neba alibe kati udwala valunkumbwa Bwela kuno osankala mumbwa Yesu ni dokta aponesa matenda kuno zivanda monga mitengo timatimba
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba.
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Siya matenda ya lunkungwa. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Siya matenda ya lunkungwa.
Manja ya kumbwira nchito ya mendo Azasebeza nchito ya manja nidani
Atibwa
Ulunga jindotoro akumbwira malonda Azatitandiza mzipatara nidani Ukupe nayo nchito yako Mwonge Yesu muye Ukupe nayo nchito yako
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba.
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba.
Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa. Siya matenda ya lunkungwa. Wadwala matenda ya lunkungwa.
Did you hear that MAG44 has got a new song?
A new song?
Yeah.
About what?
Apparently he's a rapper.
What does he do? Rap gifts?
I think he does rap gifts because his music actually sucks. He should stick to rapping gifts.
Gifts? Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
I don't even know why he calls himself MAG.
MAG what? Why 44?
Yeah.
I can't do the math. I mean 1 plus 1.
It's 2
Two.
minus 1, that's 3.
What? 44 what?
I don't really get it. Because even Jesus had 12 disciples.
12. See?
You know, so I don't know how.
Even numbers.
Yeah.